Hey guys, you are listening to We Got Something to Say. I'm your co-host Jay.
This is Jameson.
And this is Poppy. And guess what?
We
We
got
got
something
something
to
to say.
say.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for listening to another taping of We Got Something to Say. And what do we have to say today? Well, some call her a conspiracy theorist. Some call her a lot of things. But Dr. Judy Mikovits, a scientist, has been going viral. And she has been going viral because she worked with Anthony Fauci, who's the head scientist of the White House COVID task force. He has a long history with infectious disease and also with the CDC, and she says that she worked with him. This scientist is saying that not only did she work with him, she was banished for not providing the narrative that they wanted to give to the American people in many instances. Her thesis revolutionized AIDS. That's what they're saying. Or at least she's saying this. She was in an interview. And oddly enough, her actual interview is consistently being deleted and taken down from a lot of media platforms, which is actually piquing the interest of people even more. Let me try to make this as short and sweet as possible. Her article in the journal Science stated that the common use of animal and fetal human tissue was unleashing devastating plagues of chronic diseases. She said this over 25 years ago. And from that, she is stating that she was banished by the Dr. Fauci's of the world and the CDC's of the world and Big Pharma because they wage war against her and pretty much put a gag order on her. Why? Because she made these discoveries that conflicted with the agreed upon narrative of these individuals who, as she'd say, wanted to make money. She specifically blasts not only Anthony Fauci and the fact that in I believe she said it was 1983 that she had isolated the AIDS virus from saliva and also blood, and that Fauci and some other individuals wanted to prolong that for years, causing a huge loss of life. She is also purporting that this is what's happening with the coronavirus. She's purporting that this is what is happening with the coronavirus. She is very specific, and she is stating a lot of things. And these are not my words. These are the words that are running through the internet that everyone is sharing and then deleting and sharing and deleting. And I'm going to turn it over to Poppy. Poppy, what do you think about this?
I mean, it doesn't strike me as odd that the government has something up their sleeve. I mean, they've been doing it back years and years and years ago. For example, syphilis experiment, So I believe everything she says. Whether she's a conspiracy theorist or not, it definitely is relatable and reasonable for anybody who has any sound mind and any basic knowledge of science. This COVID thing not only triggered many doctors on the front lines to speak up about it. There are videos that have gone viral about how the symptoms are not matching this particular disease or this particular virus's output, so to speak. And the doctors were dumbfounded. So in regards to what she said, I believe it. And it makes sense that they would silence her because, of course, the government doesn't want the truth to get out. So, I mean, it doesn't shock me at all. It does not shock me at all. And for her to actually speak the truth, I really do hope and pray that there are other doctors, scientists, virologists out there who will step in and stand side by side with her and release this information to the public, because we need to know our lives matter just as much as those who are in power or have the wealth to control all of this. We don't want to be cattle. So I'm glad that she spoke up, and I hope that it inspires others to step up. So thanks.
Okay. And it's so interesting. You know, Dr. Judy, she is making some she's making some claims. Let me just say this. She's saying that all of this is really for Big Pharma. She also talked about Bill Gates, and this is information that I've seen because people have been sending them to everyone, and now we're seeing them. She is saying that this is all a ploy for everyone to receive these vaccines. She says she's had studies. She said the vaccines will actually make people more susceptible to diseases. She gave information of her previous tenure and experience with autism. I mean, this lady goes in. So if you guys can get a chance to see it somehow, some way, it would definitely be a good look to look at it. She is talking about just common sense things, like literally being able to be out in the sun and not wearing masks specifically because you need the sunlight. You know, she's also talking about things like hydroxychloroquine and other medications that were used in the past to combat all types of disease and chronic diseases, and she's stating that a lot of those things were taken off the market. So Dr. Judy Mikovits, she's making some very, very big claims here. And like Poppy said, the information is eventually going to get out with the way technology is. You know, I'm praying for this young lady. Well, she's not a young lady, but I'm praying for her safety in this particular situation. Jay, do you have anything to add to that?
I think that really I think the big takeaway from this, like whether you agree or you don't agree, you think that she's like a conspiracy theorist, whatever, but I think the huge takeaway from that video for me was to think, you know, to process information, to not just take things for, you know, for Bible and run off and just assume like everything that you read has to be facts. I mean, that you saw that with the president where he's, you know, encouraging people to ingest Clorox and Lysol. Like, you have to use your brain. You can't just be like, okay, well, if it's in the media, it must be true, or I Googled it, so, you know, it's on somebody's IG page, so this is facts. Like, so I think that this is giving you an alternative to the narrative. Maybe you feel it's plausible, maybe it's not, but at least it should be a food for thought to encourage you to go out and do your own research and think, like, does this make sense? Who has something to gain from this? Who can profit from this situation? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that was a huge takeaway for me, and to not just be here, you know, underneath the covers, hunkered down for 3 months, waiting for this all to blow over, but to engage the God-given brain that I have.
Right.
I want to add to that, Jay. You're right. And like you said, if you take it from, like, you don't have to have some in-depth or steep knowledge in science. Just look at what is happening. They are against medical and health experts opening up the entire country in the midst of this pandemic. They're opening this against their advice, recommendations, suggestions, against all models and everything. If that doesn't speak to what's really going on and how important the dollar is to the higher ups, then I don't know what else is. Like you said, you don't have to be smart, but at least just look at what's going on around you and think. Think for a change. Why are they doing this? If it's a medical crisis, if it's a health risk, why? So, you know, like you said, just think about the situation. Look at what you're seeing and go with that. That speaks volumes.
Right. Well, we won't beat this one to death. I guess you guys covered it. I think we covered it with this one. And at the end of the day, what has history taught us?
Yeah.
We got something to say. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening. We'll talk to you soon.